Today, I want to talk to you about taking heed to the ministry. I'm going to read to you a somewhat obscure verse, Colossians chapter 4, verse 17, where we read, "And say to Archippus, take heed to the ministry which you have received in the Lord, that you may fulfill it." In the closing section of Paul's letter to the Colossians, he mentioned many fellow Christians by name. The number of names is impressive, 11 in total, as well as 2 references to groups of people. Some of the people named were with Paul, and he sent a greeting from them. Others were in Colossae or nearby, and Paul wanted to greet them specifically. The number of names shows us that Paul had a lot of friends and co-laborers in his work for God's kingdom. The variety of names means that the gospel effectively reached people of all kinds. Here are mentioned a variety of people from different backgrounds and circumstances. It shows that one of the amazing strengths of the early church was that it drew people from all kinds together into one common faith. Going from Paul, we have a man carrying a letter. His name was Tychicus. And an escaped slave returning to his work. That was Onesimus. Staying with Paul were Aristarchus, Mark, and Justus, also named Jesus. These men were a blessing and a comfort to Paul during his imprisonment. Epaphras, who came from Colossae, also stayed with Paul, at least for a time. Dr. Luke and Demas were also with Paul and sent their greetings. They all sent greetings to the church in Colossae, but also to the church in the city of Laodicea. Special greetings went to Nymphas. We don't know if that was a man or a woman's name in that context, and the believers who met in their house. Finally, there was a word to Archippus, or rather a word they were supposed to say to Archippus. They were supposed to say to Archippus, take heed to the ministry. I suppose Archippus would be there when they read Paul's letter to the congregation. And towards the end of the letter, as this line was read, everybody would turn to Archippus and wish him just what Paul said. They would all say to Archippus, hey, take heed to the ministry. This encouragement to Archippus spoke both to him and also to us regarding some of the enduring principles of serving God. God gives ministry to his people. True ministry is received in the Lord. Ministry may be left unfulfilled if we aren't careful. Fourth, one must take heed to their ministry in order for it to be fulfilled. And then finally, we should encourage others to fulfill their ministry. Is there some way God has given you to serve him, his people, and a world that needs Jesus? Then listen, be an Archippus and take heed to your ministry, the one that you have received in the Lord. And maybe you can encourage someone else to take heed to the ministry that God's given them. Your encouragement may do more good than you can ever imagine. Let's do it. Let's take heed to fulfill the ministry we've received in the Lord, and we can take heed to do that today.